In this lesson, guys, we are going to break down the Kimura starting from the ground. And it's a longer series that we're going to go from the Kimura attack and submission into the Kimura sweep to mount, knee and belly, Kimura from Mianelli, down to side control Kimura, and then escape from side control Kimura. First, we'll have you guys do a little warm-up drill that gets the body mechanics moving for the Kimura. I'll have Sean do it right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to start on this drill, just having our hands on the ground. Obviously, when we're actually doing the Kimura, it's going to be a bit of a battle to get the hands on the ground. But for this drill, starts here, and he starts working the Kimura movement. Boom. Boom. And what, he's just going nice and fluid. You can notice each time his hips come up off the ground. He's getting a big bite in my arm, and it's coming right back. I do one more. Boom, sorry. He was trying to get an extra one out of me there. But good drill to warm up the hips and the mechanics of the Kimura itself. Because when you get that movement pattern down, attacking the Kimura, going for the grip, going for the sweep feeling that you're looking for will make it much easier. All right, guys, we're going to break down the actual Kimura submission in a second. All right, guys, first when we're looking to get the Kimura, the principal thing is his hands have to be on the ground or on the outside so my hand can reference it. So back up. So a couple different ways. In a self-defense perspective, it's pretty easy. So when that punch, boom, I bring him in, well, there's a hand on the ground, all right? And if we're playing sport and he's got a good grip, it's going to be hard to kind of break those grips. So you're always when you're looking to off balance, bring him down, make him post something, and you're looking to trap and isolate that hand, okay? So some basic ways, you think about when you're looking for inside out, so my hands will come in, bring my hands out. Now I've got control. When I'm in here, I now use my legs to push them back and find a grip, all right? So from there, now I'm going to start attacking, foot on the mat, up and over. It's really important concept of attacking the Kimura is that I want to have my armpit up and over his shoulders to get a really big bite in his arm. On this particular setup, I'm trying to keep the arm away, so I use my thumb as like a shelf to keep it away. Now this hand's going to start coming in. I'm not looking necessarily for my complete grip yet. I'm going to use my body movement to drop. And as I switch my hips to the side, I lock in my grip. Oh, sorry, Sean. All right, good? Okay. From now, if I want to make it nice and tight, I can fix that grip. Or now it's 5 fingers on top. And I'm driving my shoulder and body into the mat. I know Sean's got really tight shoulders. It's going to be easy right now. But big mistake people make with the Kimura is they push the arm up this way. Being strong with a bad shoulder, you can handle. So they try to push it up. I want to think about keeping this part of his shoulder and arm pinned to my body. And I rotate my whole body down. Think about with this connection, try to put my elbow near his head. Then it makes it much worse, all right? All right, guys, next piece of the puzzle, we're going to look at the Kimura sweep or hip bump sweep. And this can be attacked when you're going for the Kimura and he defense, which I'll show in a second, or you can attack it right off the bat. Couple different options. I'm going to talk to you first about kind of the movement of this. And I want you guys to think about it. It's kind of like a technical stand-up with like a step over. The position I'm going to sweep in is I'm wrapped over either on my elbow or preferably on my hand with my hips up in air. And I want to think about it as I'm taking a space and stepping over. That's kind of essentially the movement. You could do it on your elbow too here, but I'm wrapping an arm, but I'm going to wave away. But notice how we call it the hip bump sweep is my hips don't stay and I'm trying to kick over. I'm trying to get my hips up and into them, so I'm driving through and stepping over. All right, that is essentially the movement on this. Now, for people who are really long-limbed, like guys who like playing closed guard like myself, this is a great sweep. And there is some structural, I need some strength, which means like if he's got a strong base, a strong structure, it's a little bit harder to do, but you can use this sweep and this movement to set up some of the variations. I forget where I saw it a long time ago. I saw BJ Penn uses this to set up an omoplata a lot. So there's a lot of different options, but let's just start from our closed guard again. And like we talked before, we're looking to get his hands to the ground, so we go back to that simple grip break here. It's to the ground. Or, like again, whenever his hands end up in the ground, meaning he's trying to even low and passing, I can go for this. So, we get his hand to the ground. We're going to attack our Kimura again, foot on the mat, shoulder over. Now, the first one is he's going to defend by hugging his arms, all right? I'm not going to worry if I don't have this grip. I'm just going to hide my top of my hand underneath his elbow, and I'm trying to touch my thumb to my belly. Now, when I sit them on my elbow, I'm going to start dropping this. Now get my hips up in the air, and I think I'm just going to wave away, and I come up on top. when I finish a Kimura sweep, it was actually an opportunity for him to escape. I don't want to stay on his arm, especially when he's got all this room and space over here. So once I finish the sweep, I just cover the head and back to a nice solid mount position. Depending on what he does with his hands is dictate where I go next. All right, let's look at that again. Okay, so let's look at it again. We're here. All right, hands to the ground, however I got him there. Now, let's just say Sean's hands are on his ground here. This is one of those opportunities, if I'm creating some space in here, I just reach up and wrap around. With this one, which is kind of cool, you can get some extra, a little gripping on it. Because there's a space between Sean's hand, I can now kind of get an overwrap trap. So now I've got a really strong grip on it. Now, I'm not really at an angle because Sean's body's forward, but again, I'm gonna go for the same thing. What I'm saying is I'm not really at an angle to get up to my shoulder right now and get to my hand. If I was closer in, but right now when I'm here, I'm just gonna keep this tight, pulling on that arm. Now I'm gonna get my hips up in the air and just try to kick over. Boom. I'm here, cover the head. Now I'm in my good mount position. Okay. Talking really quick about the Kimura grip itself. For police officers and for self-defense perspective, we use the Kimura grip a lot if he has a weapon in his hand. So you'll see eventually in the TRITAC armed program, the unarmed program, and the Jiu-Jitsu at higher levels, we're going to get into some weapon defense and weapon fighting, and the Kimura grip will show up a lot because it's able to keep the weapon away. So I'm just kind of put that in the brains now that it is also great weapon defense when we are getting into more lethal situations. All right, guys, in the next part of the flow, we're going to go from the hip bump sweep into the mount position where we finished before, and then we're going to transition to knee on belly. So, guys, what you'll see below in the lesson is a lot of more videos and more information on the transitions from mount to knee on belly. We'll go over it briefly now, but learning the transition in Jiu-Jitsu is so important for overall development, for self-defense, for combat, for sport. You need to learn how to go move in and out of positions on flow around the body. If you don't have that, you easily get caught up and get back into a spot you don't want to be. So we'll go over the transition right now. So start off again. I am in my closed guard. I get his grip to the ground, hand to the ground. I go for my Kimura sweep. All right. I come over on top. I'm in here. All right. So Sean's done a good job by isolating his hand. He's got, we call it T-Rexing, and now he's become, from a sport perspective, a hard target. If he's doing self-defense, he can get into his framing. So right here, being a mount is a great position to throw punches. But what I don't like about this right off the bat is I am really glued to him. This is my focus. All right. So from a self-defense perspective, all this around me is now hard to get to. Being in a knee on belly position is a lot better. It gives me a lot more mobility. Two, if I have a big guy in the ground, for instance, if Sean was on top of me because I outweigh Sean by 40, 50 pounds, he becomes easier to roll off of because I got a bigger belly. So it's easier for me to kind of like tip him over. So I kind of have a saying, I yell at my students sometimes, don't mount the big guy, because when you're mounting a big guy, you actually become pretty easy to bump off of. So that's why I like going to knee on belly. Now, knee on belly, one thing I'll do is I'm now going to start coming here, kind of holding it, and I'm going to work to whip that leg over. So I'm trying to pull my toes up and whip it over, like my toes, to his opposite hip. So if you guys see on this side, my toes come to his opposite hip. All right, that's kind of like my start. I want to have the ability to kind of windshield wiper back and forth over his legs. Because if I just do this, he just grabs my leg like a half guard. Well, now he's got an opportunity to get shit. Now I got to fight from here. All right, so yeah, maybe I got the mount in this great position, but now I've got a guy who knows some jiu-jitsu, or we're just rolling, and now I got to fight from a knee shield battle, which is even harder. Okay, so learning how to transition is important, and please pay attention to some of the, you'll see the mount and knee on belly transition we have online. So here, now I'm going to go to my knee on belly, windshield wiper over. When I get to my knee on belly, I'll come on the other side. I get to my knee on belly, I'm being nice by keeping my toes on the mat right now, but I'm in a very strong combative stance. And now I can move around, especially when I start switching my knees. Sorry, Sean. I have the ability to move around. So, I'm going to come back the other side now. Sean doesn't like this, right? So the knee on belly, instinctual response, whether you've been doing jiu-jitsu for 5 minutes or 5 years, you're going to push away, all right? So now I'm going to Kimura grip. Again, I come through. If I have the knee on belly, he pushes it off. I just let it fall. And as I come around, I'm going to bring this knee in and cup right back to that Kimura grip. Now this is one of the ones I start off with a thumb here. Now I'm going to switch to a 5-finger grip and push him through. Okay, so back in that knee and belly. Again, I'm trying to be nice to my partner right now. But no matter what, we've been doing this, is that he's pushing that leg off. When he pushes that leg off, he's creating a hole, an opportunity. We go from an arm bar from here as well. But right now we're doing this one. This is good when he actually starts sliding and turning into me. That's the action I'm looking for. As he's turning into me, I'm coming around. Now I'm pinching my knees together, keep that hand away, and I whip that hand through. All right? Now I'm in my Kimura grip. Now I'm 5 fingers on top and driving away. Okay? So the Kimura grip, so say right there on your side again. You guys understand the Kimura, this stays isolated, this gets pushed. Okay? The Americano, sometimes people get confused about, is reverse of that. Americana's hand is up towards the face, and that gets isolated and that gets pushed. Kimura, the hand is down towards the hip. All right? Okay, front of the knee and belly, we're here again. He pushes, boom, I come through, I hit my Kimura. All right, now from here, let's say he's defending it. I'm going to just kind of come down in, spin you, slide right in to my side control. All right? Now I look to attack this hand. But when I attack this hand, I'm always trying to braze it up and isolate it, okay? Now, from in here, I've got it pinned. I'm just looking to get that hand out. 2 responses he's going to give. That hand's going to go this way. Well, if he goes that way, go Americana, or his hand goes that way. No matter what, once I get my hand on that arm, I have to keep it away from his body. I don't want him getting a good grip, because that's going to change my Kimura, okay? I still can get it, but I want to kind of keep that hand away. And I really like the principle of an underhook. Now once I have the underhook, I've got control that's keeping away. Now my hand can fit through the hole. I can take my underhook out and come to that wrist. You okay, Sean?
Yep.
Okay. Now for this Kimura, I want to think about the same thing. I'm going to rotate this part of the body and drive that hand backwards. Well, I only can drive it so far into the mat, so I've got to create some space with my hips. So what I want to do is switch my hips to his head. I slide up a little bit, turn my hips like I'm going to a Keiza, and get my knee under his shoulder and rise up. I have to be very nice on Sean's elbow shoulder right now. I can feel how tight it is. But think about keeping it bent, and I'm pushing it this way. So from here, sorry, Sean. And I now just rotate it, okay? That is a really tough one on the shoulder. It's a lot of pressure on the chest, a lot of pressure on the shoulder. Pinning this down and just go, whoa. Very, very tough one. So let's look at right from there again. Let's go for the knee on belly. Boom, he pushes. I tap my Kimura, he defends, and now I'm just going to take it out and slide into start going to side control. Now, this is a great time sometimes to attack right from here, my Americana. He turns his hand, boom, keeping it away with my underhook. Now I'm feed through, let's turn with it right there. And feed through, get my grip, switch my hips to his head, and finish it off. Why I say switch your hips to his head? We'll go over the defense in a second, but make sure that when you switch the hips, that you get it on his chest and on his head, which will lead us to the next piece of the puzzle. The next piece of the puzzle is Sean's actually used that Kimura grip to escape from side control. And what I like about this, guys, is it shows you the power of the Kimura grip itself. That you can really, once you get it, you can kind of apply it to a lot of different situations and how you kind of explore with it. I think what Dave, I can't pronounce the name, I might be pronouncing it wrong, I think has that whole Kimura trap system, which is basically a system based on attacking that grip and a variety of different ways you can use it for sport, BJJ, and Nogi. So it's a really cool concept of the Kimura grip itself, but we're using it to kind of develop some basic skill sets right now. So we're going to go right back to, let's go, I came here, I got my Kimura grip, I finished, boom, I tap, I'm going to reset, all right? Now, what Sean's going to do is what sometimes we teach you is the wrong thing, is he's going to run away, turn away from that. And when he gets here, see how my arm is draped? He's going to look to get that Kimura wrap right off the bat. So once he hugs that arm, now I'm in a lot of trouble. You know, I may roll out of it, he might just come up on top of it, and can finish a Kimura from there. There's a lot of different options. But once he has that grip, keep on it, keep torquing on it. Because it's going to give you a response that you're looking for. Whether he taps out, I've got people to tap out from it, or you use it as a sweep. You just use a variety of different ways to keep on that grip. One guys, remember Scuba Steve? Steve Penta? Anytime I would drape an arm somewhere, I don't care if it was in side control, mount, you know, you had his back, standing up, he'd wrap that arm in that, like, you know, Sotomaki Komi grip we would call it, or the Kimura, and it's just, once he had that, it's like, you couldn't get out of it. You were done. So no matter where he was, he always found a way to finish from there. So again, I'm in here. Yeah, so right here. He starts running away, wraps that arm, gets his grip, and now it's just creating an angle on that arm to keep torquing on it It's shitty, but it's the Kimura, so it's shitty no matter what. But it's gonna surprise your opponent. It's gonna give you a lot of space and a lot of opportunity to move on. But it gives you, yeah, a nice response to escape out of side control or get a tap out of it too. All right, now I'm gonna put the full flow for you guys to get together. So that'll be your objective for the week, and then the lesson is to actually be able to do this whole flow, and we'll do it together right now. All right, guys, let's put that full flow together. So we'll start off, I'm in closed guard. Well, and first I'm gonna tap the Kimura, so I'm gonna break his grip, down to the ground, put a mat, hip over, and finish, okay? Same thing, now I'm gonna bring it down to the ground, and go right for that Kimura sweep. Boom, get him over the mount. Now transition knee and belly. He pushes the foot, come over, tap the Kimura, reset. From here, I'm looking at that arm, he keeps it down. Get my scarf hold, Kimura. And from now, he turns away and gets that arm wrap and finishes with the Kimura.